Have you ever been in the place where you need to make an important decision and you've either made the decision and second guessed it, or you've maybe laid awake at night in bed wondering how to best proceed? I know I've been there many times in my life, and the reason why I found that I was in that place is that I didn't have the resources or the information available to me to allow for me to make the decision that I needed to make and feel comfortable with that decision. And really, what that meant to me was that my decisions were being made on gut and not on data or empirical evidence, right? So for agencies, what I see happen so frequently is that agency owners are in the exact same place where they're making their decisions on gut, not exactly knowing how and what direction is the best way forward, and not ensuring the success of the agency. So some of the important things that I know a lot of agencies are currently lacking are: what is the profitability of a specific project? What is the net that the agency's earning net profit by project, by client, by service? Being able to do a comparison of one project to another, why one project went better than another, and what was the difference between the two? Being able to increase efficiency between them. Why is one service being offered and more profitable than another? Is there a reason for it? Do we need to focus on maybe changing that service? Do we no longer want to offer that service so that we can be as profitable as possible? And then you've got the 80-20 rule, right? Which some of the clients that you have are more demanding and take up more of your time than others. And which clients are they? And do you have the information that allows you to say, hey, maybe I don't want to work with this client anymore? Or hey, what exactly is the difference between these two clients that allows for me to be able to deliver my services better to them and allows for it to be more profitable? So to me, it is data, and having this information is key to being able to manage an agency and being able to assure profitability and that you're able to accomplish your goals. And then really it is key to being able to be consistently improve and manage an agency that you feel in control of. I know for me as a business owner and having worked as an executive in agencies internally, that it was so anxiety driving, not knowing exactly what was going on with my team, right? Not knowing exactly how things were being performed and whether it was to the level of quality that I would have expected if I were to have done it myself. Were clients happy? Was everything being done to the expectation that I have for how things should operate? And being able to do that and have the information that you need at your fingertips to be able to see how the agency's operating allows for you to be able to do that. So I'm going to share with you my screen real quick and give you an example of a dashboard that is sample data that we work with clients to create a customized dashboard that allows for each member of the team to be able to have the information that they need. So I want you to think about this as an example and not as the way that it would be necessarily for you. The system's called Power BI. It is a data visualization tool that allows for you to be able to turn your data into a visual representation of that information. So this is a dashboard that is tied to reports that you're able to actually get further into the information. So you're able to then click into this information. So this information here is all sales data, and then you've got operational and financial data. So if I were to check and click into this report, it's actually going to load additional information for me. So all of these different pieces of the report is interactive, and why I love this tool so much is that you're able to actually extract the information from this report that you want and need to be able to make decisions. So for example, I'm able to adjust this based on a date. I'm able to select a specific client to allow for me to see exactly what we're doing. So this report allows me to see what services and how much revenue that specific service did. It allows me to be able to see how much revenue we were generating by a specific client. It allows for me to be able to see what services across the entire agency, which team members are my top performers within the agency as well. And being able to just click on the report to be able to see how each client impacted these numbers as well. So every single piece of this report is interactive, allowing for us to be able to, again, export the information to be able to allow us to make the decisions that we need. Being able to have, again, project specific information, being able to see who our largest client is in that specific period of time, being able to sort information on our largest projects, being able to see things based on profitability, who are and what are our most profitable projects and most profitable clients, being able to do analysis on a specific client. Let's say that I want to take a look at Verizon and see that on average we are doing a net profit, where we have a net profit on this project of 35%. Being able to look at a couple of clients, if I want to do a side-by-side analysis to see how a couple of clients are doing, and being able to look at that information. Being able to look at it on a specific period of time to see how exactly these clients are performing. Then being able to look at information on an employee level. This is now sales information that allows for me to be able to see what is going on within the agency. So one of the things that happens, and unfortunately in this industry, our sales cycle is extremely long, and sometimes it can be upwards of 12 to 18 months, unfortunately, from the time that we get a lead or that we are talking to a lead to the point that they actually have ink on a contract and that we've started either that first payment or started the project. So a client, an agency that we were working with a couple years ago, when they first started working with us, they had just realized at that point that revenue was down significantly. And the reason why is that sales activity had not been to the level that they needed it to be. That's that 12 to 18 months prior. And not having that information really actually had put the agency in a really detrimental place where they were nearly going to have to shut their doors. And so I am a very firm believer that you should have the information at your fingertips that allows for you to change what you're doing today. So historical information is incredibly important, but having information of the actions that I'm taking today as well is so incredibly important. So having pipeline information, the sales activity, being able to know exactly how many emails that I send out today is going to drive how much revenue 12 to 18 months in the future, sometimes 6, depending on the specific industry that you're working with and the specific services that you offer. So being able to have that information on each team member, each sales representative, and see exactly what activity that they've had. And then being able to see things like utilization ratios across the team, see exactly how each team member is performing, being able to see how we actually have utilization of a client, right? And how much time actually goes into things. So seeing how much time has actually been executed month by month with this specific client, our largest client, being able to look at information by a specific team. So let's say that these 3 team members are in the same department. So being able to see the effectiveness and utilization of that specific department as well. And then going to the same sort of information viewed in a different way, but seeing utilization across the entire team and being able to filter it out by time categories or filter it out by a time or by individual. So these dashboards really allow the executives and managers of an agency to be able to truly leverage their team and their data to make decisions in real time. But we've also been able to utilize information like this to be able to change things like client attrition. So for example, an agency that was having issues with delivery of service to the client, which led to having really bad attrition and losing clients quite significantly. And I'm sure that you've heard people say and know that it is more expensive and harder to obtain a new client than it is to retain clients. So that needs to be a very important thing that you work on as an agency owner, is making sure that you're retaining clients and that clients are satisfied and receiving the result that they expected when they signed up with you. And this agency was having an issue because they were delivering projects between 3 to 4 days on average behind schedule. And what we were able to do was create a dashboard that allowed for us to be able to have live data that showed tasks and the percentage of tasks that were completed on time. What we were able to have an effect in, it was a less than 6 month period of time they were able to have with this agency, was that they went from having that average 3 to 4 days past due to having everything 100% of the time delivered by the deadline, if not before, which led to their attrition being able to go to less than 3%. Just huge for this agency, allowed for them to be extremely profitable and really truly grow. So data is so incredibly important, and being able to give every single team member and have them have an understanding of how their piece of their role actually affects the overall agency and allows them to have the information that they need to be able to be as effective as a team member as possible. So data, as an accountant, I love data. As an analyst, I love data. As a coach, I love data, and I hope that you do as well, especially when you see how much of an impact it can have on your agency.